What you just said in the real world, what you just said would be Devin become undisputed at 47, Boots become undisputed at 54, and they get it on for a mega big fight. Uh, I guess it
Hey,
would
hey, Bill,
probably
I said
be.
that. I said
I
Boots will
think
go. He
I
gonna be
said before
undisputed.
for Devin's for Devin's third undisputed, which would tie Terrence Crawford, right?
I know that obviously we have tried to see the fight with Haney happen, right? We know what happened with Keyshawn. He might be fighting Liam Paro, but is that a fight that's still on the radar for you, a unification fight down the road?
No, we sent him an offer, a great lucrative offer. He decided not to take the fight because Devin Haney Promotions isn't a real promotion company. As we see, he can't bid in his own purse bids because he's not a real promotion company. On top of that, they're always fighting for a going out of business sale. But regardless of everything, me and Devin are never going to fight because he is scared of me. And I'm not going to waste my time. I don't want to talk about Devin Haney. He's ugly.
What's good, YouTube family? It's your boy KB, back to get boxing is just due. And no long intro necessary, man. Hit the like button, run it up for your boy. Come rock out with us. Man, what's going on in the world of boxing? Or should I say what's going on with DHP, man? Shout out to Devin the Dream Haney, man. Shout out to Devin Haney Promotions. But man, oh man, I can't lie. I think his next fight is highly anticipated, for better or for worse. I think the fans are truly intrigued and interested and wondering just exactly who he's going to end up fighting. You know, the latest report is that he's going to be facing a Jack Catterall. You know, they saying Liam Paro negotiations fell out due to, you know, excessive economic demands from Australia. You know, AKA asking for too much money. They say Liam Paro's trying to break the bank. As you see the Liam Paro sparring with Devin Haney up on the screen. That's not a fight I don't think people would have been head over heels for. Not a bad fight, but when you seeing him put hands on Liam Paro like this, you know, I don't think too many people would have been overly excited, despite the fact that it would have been a unification. Now, moving on, you know, like I said, the most recent report is Jack Catterall, and they're saying their side, they agreed to everything. They, you know, all these things, and, you know, they ready to go. And they said if the fight doesn't happen, it's not on Jack. So, AKA Team Devin Haney. And now you got Romero going in on DHP. You know, DHP is planning on being undisputed, as Bill Haney said on the Boxing Voice when he was talking to Ness in the clip. You know, he's planning on being a two-time undisputed, then going up to face Boots for undisputed. Wishful thinking. I don't see that happening at all, not in this lifetime. But Romero did not bite his tongue. He went completely off on DHP. You heard the clip. They're not a real promotional company. They can't bid on their fights. And, you know, these things are true. I know it might sound like hate, but they're not structured to put on events. And people should know this by now. Could they co-promote? That's something totally different than being able to actually put up money for a fight and actually host the card in an event. They're not structured to do so. So Romero was right on that. But never mind that. You know, that's him just taking a jab at Devin Haney. Who cares about that? What was more interesting is the fact that when he was asked about is that a fight that he still could have down the road, and he said no. They already made him an offer. He said it was lucrative, then got on, you know, the internet, said something else. And, you know, he said they're always having a going out of business sale when they're fighting. And they're not a real promotional company, DHP. So he sounds very dismissive of ever being willing to give Devin Haney an opportunity at that undisputed title. Now, we all know, or should I say at his title, and have a chance to run it up and be undisputed. You know, Rolly, we all know, is facing Tio August 22nd, later this month. And if he's to somehow come out on top, Rolly, you already know it's going to be really hard for Devin Haney to get that title, being that he's saying no to him. And I know people like, well, Tio got a really good chance of winning. Tio might win. I think so as well. But Teofimo in the past has turned down some big money to face Devin Haney. So hopefully after losing to Shakur and jumping right back in the fire, with somebody that could put your lights out like Rolly. Hopefully, if he wins that title, he's willing to revisit that Devin Haney fight and just make a great fight for boxing. I would hope that they wouldn't hold up Undisputed by trying to avoid him, because that's the consensus now. Everybody's avoiding Debo, but that's not entirely the truth. Fact of the matter is, business got to make sense, not just for Devin Haney, for his opponents as well. You just seen a recent situation happen with Rolly and Devin. Devin couldn't get the money he was looking for, and he had to move on. And that's going to apply to all these fighters across the board. If Devin Haney runs into a situation where nobody wants to get in the ring, he might have to look and go to Boots in his route. And what I mean by that is, we all know that Boots was on record, very vocal, saying he gave up money to make the Stanionis fight, which was a unification, right? Maybe, just maybe, Devin Haney might have to consider that, that avenue, because if you really can't get guys in the ring, I mean, what could you do? Either that or move up. But there's no way you're going to be able to be undisputed at 147 if you can't get these other champions in the ring. And with Rolly Romero going off on you and dismissing you as a fight, it's just going to make it that much harder. And you got to rely on either him changing his mind or Tio changing his mind. And they both are wild cards, so you just never know what you're going to get with those two. But hopefully they just talking, and despite whoever wins, I hope they looking to unify and getting another big fight, because that's what we want to see in boxing. But that's my thoughts, man. Let me know what y'all think about all this, man. Did Rolly Romero go off? Is he right? Is he wrong? Was he right about DHP? Do you think you should give him a fight? Who you got winning out of him and Tio? And again, who's Devin Haney fighting next? Is it going to be Jack Catterall or somebody else? And as always, get in that comment section. Let me know if I gave boxing is just due. Because that's what I do over here, Just Do Boxing. Till the next one, I'm out. Peace.